I am so happy to be back. I was just live on my personal page sharing that we are going to be going live talking about this amazing business boot camp that Barbara and I went to over the weekend. It was pretty mind blowing and so exciting to be there with you. So I know that my audience has met you before, but will you introduce them to tell the people about yourself and a little bit about how we met? And I'm going to share this link on my personal page and in the group while you do that. So,
okay. Well, my name is Barbara Fralinger, and I am
Dr. Barbara Fralinger.
Doctor. That's right.
I'm so proud of you.
Doctor of what, you ask? I always say doctor of love, but no, actually,
That picture.
Doctor of philosophy. I teach college classes. I've taught health and exercise science for the last 13 years. And Charity and I actually met because we both were in the same network marketing company. And we went to an event that was outside of our company, but it was similar to this past weekend. It was regarding business in general. Yes. And that's how we met. And we found out we were in the same company when we were there. And that was about 5 years ago. And ever since, she and I have kind of just been really good friends and helping each other out in our careers and also in life, and, just giving each other advice. When I was having a rough time at my job and my business was taking off, she just told me that I needed to take the plunge and leave my job and do my business full time. And I did. And it was a great decision because I got to work full time on my business for 2 years. And it was really, really awesome to have my time freedom. That was the big thing for me.
Right.
Yes. So we've just been kind of going to events together ever since, and we've just been friends, and we went to this event this past weekend, a business boot camp, and so many things we learned that we wanted to share with everybody, because it's something that we never knew. I know that there are a lot of things there that I never knew. And had I known 5 years ago, I probably would have been more successful faster. I know that's how I felt when I was sitting there. I was like, if I had known that 5 years ago, or if I had known that 5 years ago, so I don't know if that was what you were thinking too, but I was thinking that. So.
Right. Well, I think the main thing that I have really enjoyed about going to this boot camp was just really learning a different way to share the power of network marketing in a way that I've never done before. I have been in network marketing and not tooting my own horn, but I'm going to. Very successful at it for almost 9 years now, and never have I heard it spoken in this kind of a way. And it's pretty eye-opening because, I thought pretty much I knew everything. I knew how to do a business because I had been very successful in it, and it really was eye-opening. And I really loved that on Friday night, Barbara and I am in Los Angeles. And where did you fly from? New Jersey?
Philly, yes. Mm-hmm.
From Philadelphia. She flew from Philadelphia. I flew from, the landscaper always seems to come when I am on live. So my dog is barking. Hopefully the barking will stop soon. I'm sorry. But we were there past 11 p.m. 2 nights in a row. And what I was so amazed by is looking around and seeing that everybody else was just as amazed and intrigued with what we were learning as you and I were. And that was amazing.
Yes, me too. Especially the second night, because we had started early in the morning, breakfast was like at 8 o'clock, and then everybody went right into the first training session, and we stayed all day. And I think that one didn't get done until like midnight, right around midnight. We went a long time, and people were just very engaged the entire time. And I
Yeah.
have seen that one other time when I was doing a life coaching seminar. We went all day with one break until maybe midnight or 1 a.m, and people were engaged. But it was just a different kind of thing. But I've never been to anything business related where it was that condensed and everybody was so engaged for such a long period of time. So it was really, really good. Just gives you an idea of the quality of content.
Yeah, so we are really excited to share with you guys some of our biggest takeaways from going to the business boot camp. I pulled out my journal, which I took so many notes. Like, this stuff is literally, I took this many notes. Can you see my notebook? Like, pages,
Yes.
pages and pages of notes of how amazing. And some of our favorite takeaways, I'm just going to share some of the quotes that I wrote down from the first day, and then I'm going to let you do the same. Does that sound good?
Yes. I actually don't have mine in front of me, so you can say mine for me.
Oh, okay, good. I'll look on the message.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is so many of the people that follow us that I see on my newsfeed are network marketers, but the problem is they're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
Couple of the things that I could think of off the top of my head is adding people to groups without being asked. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. So my biggest question to you is, if you are in network marketing, doing any kind of online business, really dig deep with this and ask yourself, would you follow you?
I know. That was a big one.
Right. Another one of the quotes was, affirmations without action equals delusion.
Absolutely.
I loved that. I
Yeah.
love don't attach yourself to the outcome. Crazy people make crazy money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those.
You have to discipline your disappointments. We all have disappointments in this business, in this life, and the most important thing is to not let your disappointments control your life, control your world. So you have to discipline your disappointments and don't dwell on it. That's part of life. That's part of doing business.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see here. Okay, so one of the things that you wrote down was self-esteem and confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, one of my business partners sent me a message over the weekend, and I shared this with her because she realized that she has been dealing with some self-esteem issues. And so I let her know what the big eye-opening moment for me when we were talking about self-esteem and confidence. And she was like, oh my gosh, you are so absolutely right. So why don't you share with everybody your biggest takeaway about the confidence and self-esteem thing that we learned?
I think the quote that I wrote down said, the number one cure for low self-esteem is action.
Yes.
And doing what you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think integrity in everything in life, if you do what you say you're going to do, you have a sense of integrity with yourself, not just with other people. And I think that when they said the cure, the number one cure for low self-esteem is doing what you say you're going to do, taking action and doing it, I thought that is key, because anytime I've ever done something, when I've just committed and gone all in and done it, even though I was scared or if I failed or whatever and I stuck it out, I learned something more about myself and I felt stronger inside, even no matter what it was, because I didn't live with regret and I didn't live with, what if. So I think that builds the person. And I really think in network marketing in general, especially with women, I think we suffer with low self-esteem in this area, and there's just so many things that hold us back from becoming who we're really meant to be. And a lot of it is, I think we're taught from a younger age to be quiet, be aware of our surroundings, kind of, and not really be too opinionated. And you have to kind of be opinionated in business. You have to have a strong, thick skin. And even though we are, in general, more of a nurturing sex, I should say, out of the two, we feel it all. We feel it all, and it's hard for us to separate business and emotion because we are feeling beings. And I think that the self-esteem thing and really constantly worrying about what other people are thinking of us is what stops so many women who could be amazingly successful. It just stops them. And the other thing I want to say too is, and this was we talked about this last week a little bit, but what was kind of reaffirmed was that idea that you're going to be alone in this for a long time, because there is still such a stigma about network marketing. And even though we've been in it forever and we've done well in it, and we know it, and there are people in our life that we know could benefit from it.
Yeah.
Because there's still a stigma and this willful ignorance, I think that is what it's a shame, because it holds so many people back from a lifestyle that they could have had. Amazing lifestyle.
Right. And there's so many nuggets I want to take from what you just said and expand upon. I think the biggest problem with most people is that they do get their head stuck in comparison. And, comparing my story of being in network marketing for almost 9 years to your first beginning stages of being network marketing. Hey, if you had seen me 9 years ago when I was just starting out in this path to network marketing and success, I am very different. So comparing yourself to somebody's chapter 10 to your chapter 1 is not right. And it's probably the biggest thing that will hold people back is thinking they're not good enough.
And that happens even to me. We've talked about that. I compare myself to other people who signed up at the same time and I know not to do that in my head. Yeah. I know that. And I know that everybody's journey in this is different, and you have to kind of find your way, but it's hard when you see other people thriving and you want that and you're not there. Yeah. I actually have had to hide people from my newsfeed because I can't stand looking at it. If somebody who signed up around the same time I did, if they're, hitting a certain rank or all this kind of stuff, I can't allow myself to play that comparison game, because if I do, I just start to beat myself up so much, and I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm the hardest person on myself as it is. Nobody else needs to do that, because I'm already very hard on myself. So I just have to, that's the other thing. And so if you're in network marketing right now, hide people from the news feed that it's just going to bother you if you see that they're advancing or they're doing so well and you're not yet. Hide those people so you don't have to look at it directly. I'm not saying to defriend them, I just kind of have to hide it. So, so it's not in my face all the time, because you really have to put blinders on to everything that's going on around you and keep your head down and just do the work, the consistent work every single day. And then whatever happens, the outcome will happen eventually. It's just a matter of time. It really is.
Right. So a few things that I wrote down about this talk about self-esteem were that you need to learn the principles of success, and that it is principles, your own principles, that will govern your success. Like, are you following through with your word? Are you not giving up? Are you comparing yourself? Your principles are what is going to govern your success. Your work ethic is going to govern your success. So the question that was asked was to look in the mirror and really see who you are. Really see who you are. The stories that need to be told are the prisoners what is it? Oh, it was a Maya Angelou quote that was so powerful. Somebody shared in the event that the stories that hold you prisoner, the ones that really you're embarrassed about, like the story of being broke. And when I first started my network marketing career, I was really embarrassed to share with the fact that I was really broke. And I remember there were times that I went to Walmart and returned something just so I can buy groceries for my daughter. And I remember that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm afraid that my debit card is going to be declined. Those heart-dropping moments. I was so embarrassed to share when I first started network marketing. So those stories that are deep inside of you are the ones that are prisoners. Like those stories are the ones that are going to give you the success that you so desire, because there are so many other people out there that can hear me talk about returning things to Walmart and feeling like my card's going to be declined, that are going to be the connection that they need to know to here to know, like, and trust you, because that's what really online or any kind of network marketing business is about, is people need to know you, like you, and trust you before they want to do business with you.
Yeah. And, I shared this with you, I think. And I think, well, I definitely was talking to my best friend about it the other day.
Hey, wait, you want your best friend?
My other best friend. Oh gosh, but I mean, and I don't know if Matt is on right now or whatever, but that Matt and Jason coming up to me and telling me that they watched my presentation of network marketing when I was doing that a couple of weeks ago. I did a live presentation, and telling me how they really thought that I just did so well and that they wanted to sign up all over again. Just from, they would want to do it network marketing all over again from the beginning, because they thought that I really just rocked that presentation, and that they said they hadn't seen anybody do it as well as I did it other than Rick. And I thought, what an amazing compliment. And it made me feel so good, because I've been questioned about the way that I present as a teacher and all of these things, and you're kind of beaten down because you feel like, well, why is it so that I'm doing something so bad? Why is it like I feel like I do a good job? I feel like it's my personality and that's coming through in my teaching, and I feel like I'm getting the content across and I'm connecting with people. But when you're constantly pushed down over the years and you're getting critiqued by other people who just aren't at the same place you are, and they don't get your method, then to have somebody come and right up to you and tell you that they thought that you are an amazing presenter and that you need to be in front of people all the time, it really just made me realize how much of a low self-esteem that I really had, because no one had complimented me like that in a long time. And I know that I shouldn't need that. You really shouldn't take an opinion one way or the other, good or bad. But it really helped me. It made me feel better about myself. And I just didn't even realize it until they gave me the compliment that I needed that. So.
Right. And I love that too. And I watched your presentation. Barbara did such a great job. Didn't you do it 2 days in a row? You did that presentation.
Yeah.
Over how many people did you present to? Which I am super proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone and doing that.
Yeah. And well, it was 80 people total, 40 the first day and 40 the second.
Right.
And I mean, people would think, honestly, because I teach and I'm up in front of 30 kids or 40 kids all the time, that it wouldn't be a big deal. But to me, it was the first time I was presenting that kind of content to my peers, and it in the health field overall. So it was the first time that I was talking about this as a business model to a group of people like that I didn't know. And I was very nervous. I was texting people, and I was like, I think I texted you, and I said, okay, I feel sick right now, but I'm going to do this. And I was shaking the whole time, and everyone told me, oh, you would have never known that you were nervous. And that's the other thing. You just have to kind of play up, you have to level up when something's important to you. You just have to go and do it. And that's all there is to it. You have to forget your fear for that minute. And you have to just rely on your knowledge and rely on everything that you've been taught about it, and just go for it. Because I mean, you're never going to know unless you just do it. You're never going to get better unless you do it.
Oh, exactly right. And one of the things that we talked about on our live last week was that when you get really comfortable with doing the things that scare you, is that 4-letter F bomb that so many people let stop them from being successful. Those things make your heart race, the things that make my hands sweaty and make me feel like so nervous are the things that I have learned over time. This isn't something that I had from the beginning in my career. Those are the things that I know I have to do. And that sort of thing is developed just like a muscle, just like when you're working out. You can't go to the gym and expect to have, well, I saw somebody post this on my newsfeed. You can't expect to have booty gains with doing only one squat at the gym. It's just happen.
True. Yeah.
Those booty gains, the business gains, are not going to be come if you're just expecting to talk to one person. And I know how scared you were to do those 2 presentations, but how brilliant you were, and how amazing that you were able to find some people that want to partner with you in business. You didn't recruit 80 people. No. You recruited maybe a couple, but it's all a numbers game in this business.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You could look at it 2 ways. You could say, oh my gosh, I presented in front of 80 people and 1 or 2 people were interested. But then you have to look at it like you just said. In this business, 1 person can come in and change everything. Because as soon as somebody comes in who has a huge network and they've got influence, then that can be a huge, game changer in your business. So that's the other thing that I think people, they don't realize. They think that, and this is a lot of there are a lot of things this weekend that I want people to know. If you're in network marketing, don't be fooled by the rank. Don't be fooled by you have to get so many people, that you have to cold call constantly. Don't be fooled by all of those things that you might hear that other people are doing. Because really, if you are a person of influence and you have people in your life who trust you and who want to lock arms with you, and just, it could be 3 or 4 people, just, or even 2 other people. So if you have those people and you make a commitment to each other that you're going to do this together, and that you're going to come up with ways to attract people to you, and you're going to present content that's valuable where people are going to just be attracted that way, then that's the key to this. That is really what it is. And I think even with me, and I just want to say that, people say, oh, she was a 5-star coach, premier coach 2 years in a row. But let's just compare now. I was a 5-star premier coach. That's a rank. You were at most, what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, I was qualifying 4-star, but I never got to 4-star, which is disappointing. But there's a big difference between...
There's a big difference.
So go ahead.
Because you were 3-star qualifying 4-star. You made 3 times as much money than I did, and I think, and so many people get caught up on the rank and the recognition rather than learning the business and how you really make money at it. And I know I was one of those people because I thought, well, if I hit that rank, then I'll get this bonus or that and it'll set me up. But I wasn't thinking, I was thinking, but I still wanted to kind of hit rank because you're taught to hit rank, you know, but that really isn't where the bread and butter is in this business. The bread and butter is in the volume. And if you can be 5-star and still be broke, so it doesn't, you could, it doesn't, rank means nothing if you don't have people who are locking arms and who have the same vision that you have and who want to actually build big businesses.
Right. And that's the difference I've always told you since we met is that early in the business, I paid very close attention to the compensation plan. And I figured out, okay, if I do this, and this, that is how I'm going to make money. Because let's face it, I am not motivated by the stars and the recognition and the whatnot, which in our culture, we're very much taught to get caught up in that because every week they're announcing this person made rank, that person made rank. And guess what? Rank means nothing. Rank doesn't equal dollar sign. There are so many high ranking people in our business who are not making anything.
I know. I know. It's so true. It's so true. And I think it's because rank is celebrated so much.
Yeah.
It's celebrated at the events and you want to be with those people and even your sponsor, and I'm guilty of it too, because you want to help people get to their goals, but it's just sort of like there's too much emphasis put on that because that's not really what's going to give you a solid income and a solid foundation over time. It's just got nothing to do with it. You really have to separate yourself from rank. And you do. You just have to. And I had to let that go. I had to let that go. When I lost rank, I had to just be okay with it because I thought I'm just going to keep doing my activities and not worry about the recognition of it. I can't allow myself to do that because I'll drive myself crazy.
Exactly right. And I think it's important for people, if you are part of our network marketing company, is to realize that if you are getting caught up in the rank, the only time it matters is if you are starting to get to the point where you're going to leave money on the table. If you are getting to a point where you're going to be capping out on team cycle bonus, that is the only time you should be focusing on rank, is if you're going to leave money on the table. Otherwise, you keep building and you keep growing. And this business is built one person at a time. It's not built by recruiting a whole team overnight. Let's face it, that doesn't happen unless you are getting in front of 80 people every week.
Yeah, then you up your chances. And I do think it's important to talk to as many people as possible. I've always been a huge recruiter. I have in my business. I have always, brought in at minimum 5 to 10 people a month, minimum, in my business. And that's never been an issue for me. That was never my issue of getting people on board. My issue was always getting the right kind of people and getting them to duplicate what I was doing. And even though I would train them, and you can't force somebody to be motivated. You can't force somebody to have the same vision that you have. It's either there or it's not there. And the only way, and what we've been learning in this business boot camp and, what we've been a part of, is that you need to recruit a higher level person who gets it. And the only way you do that is by speaking a language of business, because the entrepreneurs are the ones who are going to really build a business with you. And you got to know how to talk to them. You've got to know how to talk to small business owners and approach them from a business perspective. And
Right.
that's what we learn here that is so different,
Mm-hmm.
than what we've ever learned before in how to promote this.
Right, right. And you do have to realize that it is a numbers game. And a lot of times in network marketing, and I wrote this down because it was a brilliant thing that, and um, an eye-opening thing for me was that if you have a lot of no's, you could have a system of duplicating no's. And
Mm-hmm.
just let that sit in for a second. If you are in network marketing, if you have a lot of no's, then guess what? Your system of duplication, because that's what network marketing is, it is duplication and teaching duplication. Your system, your process could be getting you a lot of no's. And it's time to change up your language and how you speak to people, which is what I really enjoyed about this boot camp is I learned so much from that.
And that's just, again, what we're kind of taught is to go for no, and it's the 100 no challenge. I've never had a problem messaging people and getting a no and moving on from that. I mean, so many people get devastated. They get one no and they're devastated. And that just comes with, you just have to know that, okay, if somebody says no, you can't take it personally, right? It's not about you, it's about them. And and I knew that from the beginning. So I never worried about somebody telling me no. I mean, because most of the time they ended up telling me yes anyway after that. But I think that again is a different thing. If you constantly find that you're getting no and you're not getting any yeses ever, then you need to do something different. If you're not, and if you're really, I just don't think that most people who do it are putting in the consistent effort every single day and talking to as many people as they should be talking to. I mean, it's got to be a minimum 3 to 5 where you're presenting the business to every single day. And that means you have to understand the compensation structure. We're in a binary, and okay, I've been in a binary for 5 years, never knew half the stuff that we learned. I mean, I knew most of it, but not kind of the way that we learned it this weekend. There were other, with placement strategy and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was one of the things I thought, if I had really known all this 5 years ago, things would have been really different. I would have run things differently. So.
Right. Right, exactly. I love it. I see my brother just joined us. Hello, Hans. So yeah, some of the things that I wrote down is how to get yourself in a better place for setting yourself up for success is one, that you have to surround yourself with winners. You have to surround yourself with people that believe in you. And we touched on this a little bit last week, and we're even going to touch more on it next week about how when I first started my business, I was living with someone who was constantly putting me down. You're in a hole. You're into this. You're into that. You're never going to succeed. You're never, ever going to do anything with this business. And my favorite one is, you're just sitting around playing on your computer all day. These are the things that I've heard in my network marketing career from the people that I care the most about. And you know what? If you are surrounding yourself with winners, those stupid, meaningless comments are really going to tear you down.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's why it's always important. And I tell people, you have to attend events and you have to be part of something where you're actually in contact with people who are doing the same thing daily, and then actually meeting people in person. And that's why a lot of people fail in this too, is they don't go to events. They don't see that it's a real thing and that there are other people just like them who are doing this, and that we all have the same struggles. I can't even tell you, on Sunday when we were all up in the suite afterwards, so many people had the same exact story you know, like with family members not being supportive, with people putting them down, with all of that stuff. And how do we deal with it, you know, and how do and I mean, it's just everybody goes through the same thing. So you're not alone, and you need to be surrounding yourself with people who are going through similar things. Find out how they're getting through it, things that they're doing, and then try to minimize your time or interaction with the people who are bringing you down, you know, like, or just not talk about the business with them. Like, I've learned I cannot talk to my family about the business in a way to which I would love them to join me, you know, obviously, but they're not even going to be open to even listening to me about it. And they're educated people, but it's like, whatever, you know, there's so many things with family dynamics, I think, in most families, even spouses, you know, like we're going to talk about spousal support next week, but it's the same thing, you know, like it's fear-based, and it's people, I think some of it's concern, but it's willful ignorance. It's all of that, all wrapped up in one. I would always, if I was concerned about somebody in my family, what I would say is, tell me everything about it so I understand what you're in, at least. I would want to know, even if I didn't want to get involved, I would want to know, just because, well, I don't know, I'm a caring person, and I would just say, I mean, wouldn't you want to know, like, what you're, I mean, just to kind of know?
Yes.
I wouldn't just be, you know, like, just, oh, I don't even want to hear about it.
Right.
Don't talk to my kids about it. Whatever.
I know. Shield the children. That family member's coming near. She's part of a cult. One of the things that I wrote down was about
if a cult is going to make you big money, okay, whatever, then you can say I'm in a cult.
Let's drink the Kool-Aid. Cheers to that.
Right.
One of the things that I wrote down, and I love this quote, is they do not have the right to speak into your life. Do not give them the power. Let those stupid comments just roll off your back. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what, and I have goosebumps just saying this out loud and sharing this with you guys. Whenever I had that person in my ear, you're not going to succeed. This is a cult. You're blah, blah, blah. You're dumb for even trying. I let those comments fuel my fire to succeed. And it was my personal mission in life. And you know me, Barbara.
Oh, I do.
I made it my mission to prove them wrong. And guess what? I did. And it felt damn good.
Yeah. I would say you definitely did.
I know.
Oh, I know. I mean, I just had a conversation with someone yesterday that is a good friend who actually is in business, and I was embarrassed for him, because just the way he was so close-minded about it, and I just thought, that is just so, I can't even believe the things that are coming out of his mouth right now. And sometimes you just have to kind of say, okay, you know, just this isn't for everybody, you know, and it's just not meant to be. And you got to just look at it like, as long as you're staying in line with what you believe is right, then some people are going to see it, some people aren't, you know, and you just have to keep moving forward.
That's right. So many of us live in a box. And they just think, oh, you know, it has to be this way. I'm going to retire at 65. I'm going to live on my 401k in retirement, and life's going to be great. They think they need to keep checking into the time clock and give their 40 hours a week and take their 2 weeks of vacation every year and pray they don't get sick, because they aren't going to be able to afford it if they have to retire early. I mean, so many people are living in that box. And so what we are here to tell you is that there is another way. There is a better way. And if you haven't been tuning into our weekly lives, please set an alarm on your phone, because this is what we talk about each week. We both have had massive success sharing online, growing our networks, and growing our passive residual income.
Yes.
That has changed our lives. It's allowed me to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. And when I was a single mom, it allowed me to be home 100% of the time with no spousal support, so to speak. I did get divorced, and I was a single mom for several years. And I didn't have child support. I didn't have any kind of income. I was able to be home 100% of the time with my daughter, travel the world. And guess what that came up on this day? Monday was the day that I was able to bring home my beautiful blue Jeep that I special ordered as a newly single mom. And that was a pretty proud moment for me. So we're here to tell you that if we could do it, you could do it. And don't live your life in a box. Don't let them tell you that you can't, just because they can't. You have the power with this one little thing called a phone, a smartphone.
Yes.
You can grow a business by sharing your heart and soul and locking arms with other successful people and getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, if you've got hundreds or thousands of friends on Facebook and thousands of followers on Instagram, then you have a huge network right there, and you could be monetizing that. Think about the time that you spend on Facebook, on Instagram, and you're not you're not getting paid. What if you were getting paid to socialize with people, to post, to do, what if you could monetize your network and leverage that? I mean, that's the wave of the future, and that's the opportunity that we have here. And, we're not saying you have to do it full time. You don't. But I mean, I always looked at it as, if I'm going to be on Facebook anyway, I might as well, why not make some money while I'm on there?
Right.
So I mean, that's what I've always
said too. That's what I've always said too, that you know what, if you're spending your days on your phone scrolling, you might as well make money. And if you do it right, it can change your life. And that's what we teach our teams to do. And we would love to have the opportunity to get on the phone with you so we can help you learn how to do this network marketing thing in a way that isn't creepy or gross or spammy or whatnot. We've done it all. We've made every mistake in the book, and we've learned how to do it right. And we're learning even better how to do it right. So we're looking for people to join us, to lock arms with us, and become.
You want to do it right from the get-go. I'm telling you, if I had known 5 years ago what I know now, it's so important to do it right the first time. It really, really is. And we can help you do it right the first time.
That's right. Because we'll tell you what not to do. We'll tell you how to do it and show you how to do it and be your mentor in success. And so if that sounds like something that you would like to do, please reach out to us. Don't stop and think about it, because if you stop and think about it too long, you're going to get so scared that you probably won't do it. So don't hesitate. Send one of us a message. Send us both a message. Comment below this video. Whatever it takes. Let's do this. You deserve so much more in your life. You deserve to not live paycheck to paycheck and have that sinking feeling every time you go to buy groceries for your kids like I did. You deserve to take those amazing vacations and not have to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us are living in that box of, oh, this is how it has to be. There's no other way. Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
There is.
There is. So Monday. 10 Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be on again live talking about spousal support.
Yes. It's going to be a great one. I'm excited for this one.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Carly. I appreciate that. We've worked together over the years, and I'm so So grateful. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, Carly. And thank you, everybody else. I'm very excited that my brother joined me and everybody else. We have some very nice comments from somebody named a Jojo. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but thank you so much. And join us again on Monday. And we appreciate you guys joining us. And please do not wait. Do not hesitate. Comment below. Send us a message, and let's get you started to dreaming and doing and living your best life because you deserve it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
I can't wait to hear more. There's so many more notes in my book that we did not even touch on, so stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and thanks, Charity.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.